It's Wednesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Murayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. As always, White in the building.
Yo. Good morning.
Distracted morning.
Yes, so.
How you doing?
Very distracted.
This is your blue phone case now. Wow.
As in, the phone case is beautiful.
Very cute.
Oh, thank you.
How you doing, White? How you doing? What's up?
My daughter, she indulges me sometimes. She knows my
Your
penchant for matching, so she will get me the phone, the iPad covers, and because me, I don't know how to shop online.
Oh, nice. Anything interesting happening? I forgot your gist. You understand?
I called that bank. I told you it's owing us money from POS transactions.
Yeah.
They say, all their systems are down, no, that I should please bear with them. I said, I want to tweet about it because I can't say the bank on TV, but I can say it on Twitter. Say, please don't do that. I said, when will the money come? Say, just give us time. Today, a measly 100K dropped. I said,
That's serious money that dropped.
Serious? It's not according to what they are owing us.
Yes.
No. So I've put their POS aside for now. Don't use it.
Okay.
Because, you know what I got from them today? Chargeback. Chargeback, 30K.
Anyway, let me come to you. Elijah, how you doing? What's going on?
I know. So I want to say thank you to Amawanda Foods and Spice Limited, KIB,
Amawanda,
producers of Amawanda Foods and Spice, and the Lagos distributor for Amawanda Foods and Spice for committing to our events coming up. So for the Valentine, don't worry, you'll be getting family packs from the company from Amawanda and from Joe Mascot. They're also printing our bags, and the support is just huge.
So if you want to support, just reach out to us.
So if you have brands, this is an opportunity for you to reach out to your customers. They are on our timeline, trust me. And the opportunity is huge. We are looking forward to our 10th anniversary also later in the year.
Yeah.
And the platform is huge. Take advantage of it.
Fantastic. How you doing, Topsy?
I'm very good.
Your necklace is very nice.
Yeah, BS Crafts.
Yeah.
And I'm loving it. So yesterday I went to do my nails and my hair. Why are you laughing? Like, I took a break. I said, let me let my nail recover. But because I'm traveling, I want to slay on my trip. So I know a lot of people follow us and watch us from the UK. So I'm going to be in the UK. I'm having a hangout in Manchester, hangout in Glasgow, and hangout in London.
Nice.
So I'm going to be putting it on my Instagram and Facebook page. So if you are in the UK, in Glasgow, Manchester, or London, let's hook up.
Nice, fantastic, cool. Well, you are still on the show this week now.
Yeah, it's next week.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's next week that we're gonna do it.
Those of us that want to stay in Nigeria.
Oh, you're gonna miss the elections.
Vic, just calm down. Let's.
I didn't even think about it.
Decided to stay here. They are making it difficult for us to stay.
No.
I've never looked forward to a trip like today. Like this particular one. There is no fuel, there's no... I'm seriously looking forward to this trip.
Nigerians that bought their tickets to jet out. Between this week, next week, they're all leaving.
Nigeria is even empty. There was no traffic coming today. I got here just after.
I have a few friends, they bought their ticket. This weekend, they're out. They don't want to stay around for elections. I don't know, they're all jetting
about
out.
that.
We that we are patriotic, they don't want to make us happy.
I don't understand. That wasn't the topic.
No, that's the topic.
Okay,
Can we move on?
Those of us that we are real Nigerians, please go out and vote.
No, please. Let's not
As in...
belittle those who are traveling. They actually
It wasn't even... There's a plane. There's lots of stories behind it. I was supposed to travel in December, come back in January.
Anyway, I'm traveling today.
My passport.
Hey, Joe, me not travel.
Please give us the gist, Joe. You want to give us the details?
She's going to Abeokuta. They're rioting there.
But I'm excited. I'm going to be in Maiduguri. I'm off to Maiduguri today. I have a few jobs to do there. And from there, I'm going to Abuja, and then I'll be back. So I'm traveling within. I'm still in Nigeria. I'll be around to vote.
Travel.
All right, let's go on a break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation. Naira scarcity sparks protests. Waba out, Ajero in. That's for Nigerian Labour Congress. Death toll in Turkey, Syria earthquake crosses 5,300. Ganduje links Naira shortage, court injunction to anti-June 12 elements. Court frees Omokre, 2 firms in $1.6 billion oil fraud case. NNPCL CEO Petro scarcity will ease next week. Okay, which story are we starting with? The Nation.
Okay, I wanted to take the NNPCL CEO, but my picture is not loaded. I'll just quickly say the group managing chief executive of NNPCL, Mele Kyari, spoke on television and he apologized to Nigerians for what we have been going through. That one was even trending on Twitter. What we have been going through for the past months. And he says that he called it a glitch. He said just a glitch. And that, you know, it's in a week, all of that will end. And we can already see, apart from, you know, some moment stations already having products that they've not had products last week. And we can see some Ipman stations I bought 2 weeks back to back, 330 Naira per litre from the one station at Celebo Stop. That's where I've been buying. And I don't want to mention the name, but he says that all of that will be dealt with. He just blamed it on internal issue that has been sorted out. So this just sort of makes it seem ridiculous to me the way our officials, public officials, deal with things that affect our lives. Let's hope that this glitch, as is promised, it ends in a week and that the apology, although I don't think that apology stands anything.
Okay, so the APC flag bearer, Ashwajibo Tinubu, yesterday was saying that Nigerians should stay calm and remain calm while relevant agencies continue to find solutions to the cash trap we're in, this cash crunch, and the fuel scarcity. He lamented all the scarcity and said that all the relevant agencies must come together to find a solution. He assured Nigerians that the current challenges will soon be over, urging them to avoid activities capable of causing unrest in the country, and even when they are justifiably correct. He said that this is a challenging period in life. Our country and our people must stay strong and remain calm while the agencies are able to find a resolution to this.
Still on the cash story, the governor of Kano State, Ganduje, is linking the Naira shortage with the court injunction to anti-June 12 elements. According to him, he said that there are people that are anti-democracy and they are the ones causing this issue. He said that there is a collaboration between the People's Democratic Party candidate, Atiku, as well as the CBN, and is reacting specifically to the interim injunction by the Federal High Court in Abuja, stopping the CBN from extending the 10-day deadline, because, you know, people have been hoping that there will be an extension where the old legal tender will still be valid, but they've gotten an injunction saying nothing beyond that 10-day deadline. So he said that it's unfortunate that the CBN and its collaborators are insisting unnecessarily on the imposition of an unreasonable time frame for the old Naira notes to cease to be a legal tender and it's obviously a national crisis, you know. So he's just supporting the issues that many Nigerians are facing, accusations back and forth, and pointing fingers at PDP collaborating with CBN.
Okay, the Punch. Naira crisis may disrupt polls. INEC wants emefiele and NSA. Ogun Ondo, Edo protesters storm banks and demand cash. Ekiti owes pensioners 40 billion naira gratuity, says Oyebanji. U.S. indicts Nigerians of stealing varsity's $1.4 million. FG plans new policy to track public spending. Turkey, Syria earthquake death hits 17,146, yes. Fuel price to skyrocket as marketers threaten shutdown. And banks ordered to freeze Pakistani terror financiers' accounts. Let me start with the story that's connected to me somewhat. So my mother-in-law is a commissioner, she's a pensioner, a retiree. So the Ekiti State Governor, Biodun Oyebanji, has said that he will be prioritizing the payment of the pension and gratuities owed to many senior citizens. He was saying this while he was handing over a check of 130 million to 69 retirees yesterday. He said that the payments will include retirees that are alive and the next of kin for those who have died. So he said, I quite understand the pains and agony of people working for so many years and have not been paid for their entitlement and when it was due. Said he wants to assure elderly citizens that his administration will ensure that they pay up all gratuities, and that's good news. I'm going to take that back home to my mother-in-law. He says, as of today, the state owes 40 billion naira outstanding liabilities, and it's going to make sure that gets paid. Okay.
Okay. I wanted to say the
Punch, any other story?
The terror financier.
Okay.
So the CBN in a circular on its website directed that all financial institutions are required to immediately screen customers and their database, and they should immediately freeze accounts related to a Pakistani Abdurrahman Maki. This was, this person has been linked to terror groups like Al-Qaeda by the United Nations Security Council, and the United Nations Security Council added Maki to a list, to its ISIL and Al-Qaeda sanction list and individuals and entities subject to asset freeze, travel ban, and arms embargo set out in Chapter 7 of the Charter. And the CBN has included that person in the circular. Hopefully, all accounts linked to him across the world will also be frozen.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to take the major headline, but part of it, the page 25 of it, where a lot of the banks have shut down their operations due to lack of cash. And we had the EFCC guy yesterday saying the banks are hoarding, but obviously these banks don't even have anything to hoard. So a lot of the banks, Zenith shut down some of its branches yesterday, GTB, a lot of them, Sterling didn't shut down, but they said that they have just had a small staff. How do you call them? Essential staff. Just a few of the essential staff. Non-essential staff have been asked to stay at home. Customers are attacking the banks, thinking because of the EFCC video and the central bank's video of the day before, customers are now thinking that, oh, they're holding money, so they're attacking. So the banks have just decided to just shut down.
Okay, another story?
Yes, I want to take the story of the new federal government policy. So the federal government is implementing a new policy to track public spending. They said it is a follow-up to the previous time that they did a major change is when they created the Treasury single account and how effective that has been. But this one is called bottom-up cash planning policy, and it will take effect this Friday. The same Friday when we are going to stop using the old notes is when this policy will take place. Now, there are advantages to this policy. They said this policy will bring more certainty to budget execution and engender fiscal discipline. He said it would allow management to facilitate optimal allocation and utilization. So they are tracking every cash in every government money. People cannot hold on to government money. He said the policy is also going to ensure individual government cash needs through individual spending reduces, and other objectives as minimizing cost of holding cash balance and reduce risk of operational and market. Anyway, it's a good policy, like we always say when we read in papers, but let's see how implementation would work, and I hope the implementation will continually ease the effectiveness of government.
All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Okay, moving on now to Daily Sun. Angry bank customers destroy ATMs and vehicles. Nigeria fed up with APC, says article. Again, gunmen invade CUPP spokesperson's home in Imo State. CBN won't be used to scuttle election, says emefiele. How Obi and I will transform Nigeria, says Dati. Wike makes U-turn, reapproves stadium for Atiku's rally. FG inaugurates security committee for 2023 consensus. 2023 census, actually. Don't use Ebubeagu for election. Police warns Southeast governors. And UTME registration closes February 14th, says Jamb.
Yes.
Okay, which story are we starting with?
The Jamb registrar, Professor Isaiah Koluyede, has issued a warning to intending the university or tertiary institution students to quickly go and do their registration now. It says the e-pin will close on Tuesday, the 14th of February next week, and it will not continue. He said that the calendar is planned in such a way to create window for other examination bodies to carry out perform their own statutory roles. And so people should take advantage now of the free, almost empty, near empty registration centers across the country and do their registration rather than wait till the last minute and there'll be a rush around the 14th and hope that there will be an extension. That it will not be extended, and this is the final call for people. So Jamb is registering right now. Your UTME registration is ongoing right now. Take advantage and go to your CBT centers and do that.
So, please, I need to take Wike's story because he has magnanimously agreed for PDP to use his personal property, the stadium in River State.
Abi?
It's not his personal property.
When he's agreeing and not agreeing.
I'm believing it might be his personal property because he has magnanimously agreed. He has said that so that they will not complain that it's because of the rally they didn't do in the states that they lost the election.
He highlighted security concerns for his people. That's why he didn't allow them in the first place.
River State governor said he has reapproved Adokie Stadium for the People's Democratic Party.
Yeah.
And he said, this is coming after
I really love taking Wike stories.
to him.
She's talking.
I didn't talk about security. He said this people talk
I
to
took the story previously where he was saying it was the reason he did not.
That was yesterday.
That was, I'm telling you, I agree.
Today.
All right, so
listen.
We have agreed. We've heard you 3 times.
Okay, so another story.
So wait, he's also said that it's a lie that Ayu said that one of the G5 governors came to see him, but that Ayu is a liar. It's untruth.
Okay.
All right. So Ebubeagu, the police has warned against the use of Ebubeagu during the election. The police commissioner for Ebonyi State. The police commissioner for Ebonyi State has reiterated his, said this yesterday, had a security meeting with security chiefs of the police headquarters in Abakaliki over the increasing politically motivated violence that has been taking place within Ebonyi State. And he said that Ebubeagu, that's the code name for the Eastern Security Network, was meant to support the work of police and that the police does not need them during the election. He warned local government chairmen, political party stakeholders, and anybody within the country. Nobody should equip Ebubeagu with arms, and nobody should bear arms during the election. Ebubeagu is not created, according to him, for political aggrandizement, but rather to strengthen the security of the state as non-state actors. So the conversation now is no Ebubeagu during the election period.
So CBN says that they would not be used to scuttle elections. He met with Yakubu yesterday, that's the INEC chairman, saying that, don't worry, I will make sure there's plenty of money. I would never be the one to need to scuttle the elections. According to him specifically, he said he assured the Apex Bank that he would not frustrate the positive outcome of the general elections. He has assured INEC of the security of the sensitive materials in the bank's custody, saying that it would use armored bullion vans to safely convey the materials. It's not just about the cash. We've done everything to make sure cash is available to the people, and we'll ensure that I will make sure that we will not allow ourselves as Central Bank to be seen as an agent to frustrate their efforts, and they'll make sure there's cash. So there was a handshake, and just like Nima says, when you wear your suits and jackets and make these handshakes, how does it really affect?
Because he also said when they wanted beavers, they wanted dollar to buy beavers, he told them that I will get you the dollar. And now there's beavers everywhere.
Yeah, so in his magnanimity also, they're all being magnanimous.
So
everybody's a king in the kingdom. So I will give you cash.
Don't worry. See this chair? Me go and be your guy for this chair.
Everybody
And you
is
magnanimously-
king.
And I will magnanimously.
Let other people sit down.
That's why we need a system. We need a proper system to clip these people's wings. You cannot have that kind of authority
No
to
warlords. You
decide
can't have
when I give you
warlords.
stadium,
Yeah.
I decide when I give you cash, I decide when I give you beavers. You know, it's my choice.
Come on.
Okay, let us take another story before I get in trouble.
True.
Tribune.
Yeah.
Move on.
Vanguard.
Let me move on to you. Few Naira's crisis, TUC, NLC demand immediate action from Buhari, says CBN. I will exploit all discovery in Bauchi, Gombe for Nigerians, says Atiku. Stray bullets hits one as protests rock Abeokuta, Undo, Benin. Death toll in Turkey surpasses 7,000 as Erdogan declares state of emergency. Really sad story there. IGP orders posting of redeployment of DIGs, AIGs, and CPs. And 2023 elections must not be truncated. Attack Lekwot and others tell Buhari. Okay, which story in Tribune?
The police force public relations officer has announced the redeployment and posting of DIGs, AIGs, Commissioner of Police across states. He said that the appointment, the states, the DIG Dam Malam Mohammed will be redeployed to the Department of Finance, explaining their new postings. And we have Frank Obana as the CP of Ogun State. We have Owonwa as the new CP for Lagos. And, several other DIGs and AIGs taking up new posts. And according to the first PRO, the redeployment and promotions take immediate effect in their new departments and new positions.
So I wanted to take a stray bullet that hit one of the people. They're not sure where the bullet came from, but there were protests in Abeokuta, in Ondo, different parts. They blocked roads. They were protests were witnessed in Pansheke, Okelewo, Adanton, Chapon, and other areas of the state capital. A lot of schools and shops quickly closed their places. But a viral video went of this guy who had been shot and blood was seeping down. But I don't think anybody is really sure of who he is.
Okay, we have to wrap up soon. Any story? Vanguard quickly, let's sign the story we've not taken. Election mirage without security, Sultan warns. Fuel scarcity, youth protests in Ondo, Ogun, Edo. How I escaped Turkey earthquake, says Johnson, Nigerian survivor in Turkey. Shake up in IGP, we talked about that. State of the nation, anarchy looms, says Kachuku. Any story in Vanguard that we've not taken?
Okay, so I know we intend to talk about it much later, but the bickering, according to what the Vanguard says, that telcos and banks differ on why online transaction fails. So the telcos feel like the solution is for the banks to increase their USSD capacity and properly deploy right facilities for a full-blown digital online banking. And because obviously there's been a widespread complaint of massive online transaction failures. All of us here have experienced it. After everybody has been forced to go online, the banks have denied that it was their fault. The telcos are saying no, they are responsible, and I think everybody should just...
Okay, I just wanted to quickly take the Emmanuel Johnson, who was a survivor of the earthquake. He escaped with his family. He said that it was 4 o'clock in the morning that the building started shaking. And he wasn't going to take it seriously till he just saw a crack in the wall. So he gathered his kids and his wife, and they ran out. And he said when they were running down the stairs that the stairs were collapsing, in front of him. He almost tripped. Anyway, he ran out, and they are all in the cold, freezing, without clothes. Their building has come down, and he just needs help.
Okay, that's all.
A Nigerian, Emmanuel Johnson.
Olaiton Johnson, I think. I have it here. All right, that's all we can take on today's paper review. When we come back, we go through we get our hot topic of the day. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
down there, they cry. Thanks for staying with us. This morning, we will be speaking on the Naira and fuel crisis bedeviling our economy. That's the only stories Nigerians are interested in today. We'd really like to hear your thoughts, your experiences. How have you been managing? What's your day-to-day routine like in view of this new reality? Just share with us what you're going through, because sometimes we need emefiele to understand what we're going through. We saw in the papers that he assured INEC that he'll make cash available to us. But have you seen the cash? That's a conversation we'll have. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-3907-6948. You can also tweet to us at TPC Connect. Please hashtag yourviewTVC so we can read your tweets. So, I plan to go to, I'm going to Abeokuta today, for example, now, and I need to leave cash in the house. And there's literally no cash on my hand. Now, if I left my card, just this morning, my PA tried to go and use the card to do something, and transaction did not go. So, is it that I'm going to be leaving my family in some kind of a discomfort because they won't be able to access, they don't have cash, they can't get PAs? I thought the card would work. So we're having serious online infrastructure problem, and yet there's still no cash in the ATMs. How has been your experience? YK has shared hers with us recently. I don't know if you have any more, but I'd like to hear from others. How are you managing? You might want to start.
We have been
No, you are fine. You know you have connections.
No. All my
still,
market, you know, my market
tough.
connection is still tough. All my market connection that sort of have to deal with cash have been helping me out. So I have a place where I pay for my provisions every month, where I get all my kids' cereals and everything. I called the lady up, and thank God we've had that relationship for years since I've been having children. And so she sent me 100,000 naira in cash, but in old notes, yes. Send me 100,000 naira in cash, and I bailed out all my friends. You know, do the lodges as a madam kind of thing. So I've called her again. Please, so today, if you sell market again today, help me. I paid her 2.5 yesterday.
So you send the money to her account?
No,
to her account,
yes.
and then
So she gives me cash. She sells provisions, and so they are still receiving plenty cash. I'm trying to get my connect with those people who drive down for buses. I've not been able to find. I messed it up.
You know people that drive by.
She's trying to
I'm trying to reenact
up.
the relationship. Any of my person that has a boss, I'm going to call them today. That's the next thing. Because my business is suffering. I need cash. So I'm calling all of them. In fact, I have connect with some of these good boys of Lagos. I'm going to call them as well.
Nima,
Anybody that does cash, I'm going to
Okay,
go there.
okay.
Because people in my 12 market have been bailing me out.
Right.
So I need that for my business.
Please, I have somebody that sent me text yesterday that needs 20,000.
Really?
She said she went to the bank.
Right, they didn't just give you
She will
100,000
do-
naira.
Eh?
They don't just give you 100,000 naira cash.
Who gave me 100,000?
You said that somebody gave you 100,000 naira cash.
When did I say so?
Nima
I
said-
don't know what she's talking about.
Nema said somebody gave her 100.
You said during the banter that somebody gave 100,000 naira cash. I mean, is it belong?
Oh, transfer. Murayo, your mind is not here. Please. Let me share my...
So can I send that to you, please? She will transfer the money to
So the
you.
truth is, what you're doing right now, everybody is going
doing
to start calling me and
Asking
trying to
for
reach
Nima's
Nima
number.
to
And I
get
cannot take care of
contact,
them.
and she cannot. So we need to understand that everybody must find their own. But I am blessed to
I'm
have
just
Nima
giving ideas so people who are listening.
Your circle.
in my circle, because for 2 weeks I could not clear my site. I transferred money to my engineer. I lamented on the show. And Nima was like, I forgot. Don't worry. Let me call somebody.
Hey,
The next thing, money showed up.
Hey, James
I have
Bond.
sent the money to Ekpe. Work has started.
Nima,
It's good to
Nima
have.
is the resource. If you have any problem in this country, just ask
call
Nima.
him.
Nima are connected. Somebody must know somebody. Knows somebody.
Hey, I'm serious.
You're kidding
So
me.
we called Nima today.
Are you for
Before
real?
we start rigging.
Don't
I got
stop,
I was leaving on Monday. I went with the cash. You know that amount. Yes. She just called somebody.
Nima.
What
Old
are you
notes.
talking about?
Old notes,
I
please.
don't know
Listen.
this.
Old note.
Let me qualify it well. Old notes from traders, because
Okay.
she knows a lot of these traders that
Traders.
collect cash. So she was
Right,
able to get people. And one of my staff said that when she was going to church on Sunday, she just assumed she would be able to use ATM to get to church. So she got to the bus stop and didn't have any cash with her again and could not use ATM. So it was at that Magodo junction. She was now begging those Keke Nape
kidding
people
me.
to please collect, transfer and give her cash for her to be able to get to church and come back. Yesterday, my staff too could not come to the office till around 11 o'clock because she was queuing up in
Get
Computer
cash.
Village Bank because she said she felt that at least this money will get her to Computer Village. When she gets there, she will find her way to office. She will get money. And she didn't want to have to pay to buy money because the option was for her to pay and then they will buy her money. So she went to the bank and waited and waited and waited. So Nigerians are buying money when they are desperate and others are spending time while doing my hair. There's a Stanbic Bank there. And they brought the bullion van. The van brought money. Immediately the van brought money. Everybody just surrounded the bank because they were all waiting. There was a long queue that they've taken their numbers already. And in my very before, while they are still doing my hair, money finished at the ATM. Between when the van came and within that same day, in less than 3 hours, money finished. So what are we saying? If the CBN truly released enough money, why would a branch of a bank have the entire sum that was brought to them finish within that minute?
Now, the real issue is also them extending this date. Because it's one thing that we're having issues with cash being hoarded. But once people know that the date has been extended such that you can still spend this money, at least for now, until we eventually mop up all the old notes, then nobody will be holding any cash. So it's still part of the policy problem. There needs to be a policy review of this.
There has to be.
No, you see, sorry, Nima, I just want to say something. You see, my own problem, it is old notes that we are seeing. Apart from hoarding money, what you are seeing is the old. I run a cash business. The only cash I see is old. I don't see new money. By now, the thing is going to end on Friday. It is only new money you should be seeing. You shouldn't be seeing the old money because they are mopping up the old money. But what you're seeing is you are seeing more of the old money than the new money.
Which is why I wanted to say there has to be a review. What they did mistakenly was say, take old money and limit what they can take.
Yes.
If you have said both currencies, both old and new, can run concurrently to a certain date and make it a bit longer so that we have more of the new money, even though you are not printing as much as you are claiming will take care of us, we will have it in circulation.
Yeah.
Now, what we do, even me, I did it. When they gave me 50,000, the 2,000 new notice, I first of all remove it and put it in my purse.
Yes,
I remove it.
That's a scarce commodity.
So I make sure that the old one is what we are circulating. And thank to them.
Everyone is
For
doing
1
that.
week, I didn't have cash at all. I shut my business. But when I saw that, I started making calls. So they've woken my thinking cap. Nigerians are resorting to, and we were even resorting to legit ways. So people are resorting to ridiculous things.
You're right, Nima. I have, as I'm talking to you right now, in my purse, I have the maybe 5K of the new note, and I'm not touched. I've had it for like 2 weeks. I didn't touch it. It's the old note I have that I'm using. So we're all somewhat hoarding individually.
But we genuinely have
when you have uncertainties, you now start to be panicking. What they have created is a panic.
Yeah.
Everybody is trying to say, no, let this not catch me, let it not happen to me. Nobody wants to be caught with the old note. So they will bring it to me and they will be begging me to take. So people are trying to sort themselves. With that panic, CBN can actually take care of it and still control the money in circulation.
So can we talk about the failed transactions?
Yes, infrastructure.
Because when the CBN brought up this policy, it was with the expectation that knowing the impact of the policy, everybody will be resorting to online. They want us to go online. They say don't spend cash, spend minimal cash and transfer everywhere it is possible. But as I've been on this show, I have tried transferring 4 times. It keeps showing me failed. Yesterday, it showed me failed. I tried again, and I was debited twice. The money hit the person twice. Imagine. So sometimes you see failed. You don't even know whether the fail is that it went and you should wait a bit. Sometimes you see failed and actually it has failed. And sometimes people, there are shops in Ogudu where I did my hair, and they said they don't collect transfer because they are having fake alerts, number 1. Number 2, the money goes and comes back. So just give me cash. I don't want. So if you don't have cash, don't even have any. I'm not doing any transaction with you. And this is affecting a lot of people's businesses. A lot of things are being paused because we cannot even move money. And it's just sad that we are doing this to ourselves. It's a man-made, self-inflicted crisis, and everybody is groaning and complaining, and the CBN is still insisting that this is the way forward. We're not changing it.
I was listening to the radio today, and somebody called in, and he said that, well, they shouldn't extend this money thing, that we will just all suffer. He too is suffering, and we should just, because so everybody is actually saying it is politics, it's because of the politicians. And everybody thinks this is geared towards the election. My question is it really geared towards the election? And if it is it not a futile attempt at scuttling vote buying? Because the more you make this thing scarce, the more people will be desperate to collect and sell their fundamental...
You know, I was reading I'm reading a report by Agora Policy, and they were saying that one of the key weaknesses that have been identified from the CBN policy is the inability or the unforeseen capacity of the CBN to actually print. According to this report, CBN was only able to locally produce 200 billion of the new notes by end of 2023. That's a long shot from the 2.7 trillion that they actually require, that's mopped up. So we obviously don't have enough new notes. That's what's causing the crunch, according to this report. And it's either we start finding a way to print abroad and get it in, but locally, we've not been able to print more than 200 billion. And that's a major issue we have right now with the cash availability.
And information only open to the CBN. Only the CBN know that it's only 200 million they can print.
200 billion, yes.
200 billion to the end of
2023.
They know also that
end of
having too
January,
much...
end of 2023.
End of January 2023. This just last month. That was
Naira.
the 200 billion naira, according to this report. That's what they were able to print.
They also know that having too much Naira outside the circulation is a problem as a policy maker. Now you want to sort the two at once and you put a third one on it. You could have sorted it out by changing Naira notes. Since you said even the Naira notes thing is a non-compulsory, I won't say it's a compulsory, because the ATS tenure, some other CBN governors did not execute it and they left and nothing happened. So, but you compelled yourself to execute change of Naira notes and added it to all these other policies that you must do at this time, and then told people that this one will phase out and will no longer become legal tender. So I have the paper in my house. I can be using it for business and wait for it to naturally phase itself out. But no, you say no. This one will no longer be legal tender. So all of you rush, if you don't deposit it, anything you see, you take. And you created this panic. Look at what happened in Abeokuta yesterday. People went to the bank. I'm sure the people that even started the riot don't have money in the bank. They took advantage. Before you know, you're creating criminality. Yeah. This morning, they were telling me about somebody that they put in a bus, made sure they emptied everything in a bag, and left her helpless at Ojota this morning.
Yeah.
People will be taking advantage.
When we come back, we'll take a few more calls on this and a few messages on social media. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So aside from our own experiences with this cash crunch, it's important to also remind Nigerians that the deadline to get or to pay back your old notes is on Friday, February 10th. And we're hoping that the National Assembly can reconvene to get CBN to give an extension on how long we can actually use and spend the old Naira notes. We're also hoping,
the matter is now sub judice. Some people have gone to court. Yeah. And the court has said that, as giving an interim order, stopping the CBN from intervening in the deadline. So
Buhari also asked for 7 days. Remember when he had a meeting with them on Friday, with the governors on Friday?
But that
was to give him 7 days. 7 days is not yet up.
It will be up on Friday.
It will be up tomorrow, really, yeah. So they had a meeting on Friday, now it's 7 days. So the conversation really is, what are we expecting, hoping? Would CBN really be able to fall back on this?
So yes. I just want to correct something. 7 days is the day you can stop spending. It becomes illegal tender.
Yes.
It stops being legal. You can't use it to buy anything.
You can still
you can go to the bank till the 17th, I think, to swap.
You can go to CBN,
not swap, to pay it into your account.
Within your state.
No. For instance, it's not CBN office only.
What I read was that banks will stop collecting it by the 10th, and you can take your old Naira notes to any CBN office for a swap after that.
I didn't get that information.
I think it's
okay, we'll verify and
17.
find the right information. But what I know is that by Friday you can't make it as a legal. You can't use it as a legal tender anymore. So means that people carrying cash around by Friday.
Well, what do you think people
So for me,
I will use it as legal tender and hope that there's an extension. If you don't have
because
it,
there's it before.
the hunger that we have tested will be small compared to what will happen after 10th.
So I'm of the opinion that we shouldn't have an extension. And it is not a popular opinion. What I feel is we should make cash surplus and lift.
They don't have it.
They should lift the restriction on amount you can withdraw. You see, when I don't have a limit to what I can withdraw, for somebody that is in a branch where they can withdraw more, they withdraw more and help other people out.
There's a problem in that formula, in the sense that if the bank have only 2 million in branch, that they will exhaust in an hour if they load it in the ATM.
You can't.
There will still be limits. If they allow you limitless,
So
I will
what
be
we're
on
saying
the
now,
queue.
they
I
should
will
be-
never get.
That's the cure for me is CBN to
print
provide
more. But they
more
say that
cash,
they don't
not
have 200
changing.
First of all, they don't have enough.
2023.
They don't have enough right
So
now.
you
They
know
don't
that
have printed.
they cannot.
They don't have locally.
They are
the
printing it
capacity
locally now.
It's
was only
200
billion, which they've
by
done.
2023.
Now they've mopped up 2.7 trillion already. It's impossible for them to meet up. That's one. So we have to wait. So that's why you need an extension, because you're not ready. And even if you recall, the Minister of Finance said nobody told her about this policy, because if they did, maybe the banks would have been better prepared. Maybe the financial institutions that supports the infrastructure, will be helped. The infrastructure that supports this online banking would have prepared for the influx of Nigerians who will be using. They were not prepared.
They were prepared, but they gave notices last year. Now 90 days.
They did not prepare.
And there was 90
The Minister of
days.
Finance told us that she did not know.
She did not know when they said it 90
did not
days ago.
prepare. Because the CBN cannot pretend to know that the banks are suffering right now due to this Canada and the Japa issue.
Sure.
Most of the banks has, just as we are complaining that doctors are what's it called?
They are Japan.
Brain whatever.
Brain drain.
Brain drain. It's happening within the banks as well. Most banks, they can't sort out failed transactions again within 2 days. It takes weeks. I called the bank yesterday, that Orange Bank. Finally, their number went on a landline number. They said it would take 5 days. Something that's supposed to be immediate. This is since Tuesday last week. So they know the infrastructure cannot hold. Now your e-resolutions, all of those departments within the banks are struggling. And CBN will say they don't know.
See, Nima, the only problem I have with that is this infrastructure that you're talking about has been a problematic infrastructure since before the announcement. I've been having problem, POS, you won't get the kidney. You know about that other bank. That bank with red. Like this.
I understand.
That I used to call all the time.
I used to do like this.
Money did not drop. I've lost so much money to that bank.
They don't have team to finish that team.
Even since 2 years ago, or even more before that time. The other one, the orange one you are talking about, they too, they have Kellen.
But let's talk about
You see, old generation. The worst part is the old generation. When you call them, I don't know what to do.
Those ones are
they are laid back.
That's not true. They've changed.
I'm telling you, I'm only talking about my own personal experience. Your own may be different from my own.
Okay. But let's talk
So
about
my own personal experience.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. So my point is this. It was problematic before you announced you give us 90 days.
Yeah.
Now, 90 days later, we are in deep problem.
Well, December 15 now. When did this 90 days? That
No. December 15 was the day they brought out the money.
Yes, now.
Before December 15, people had started taking their money
to the bank.
The money that they had.
Let me take this call from Antonia. Good morning, Antonia. Are you there?
Good morning, Naira.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I'm calling you. I enjoy your program. I follow you up in all your program. I love you. I love your person. Okay, I'll be.
It's muffled though, Antonia. Go ahead. Let's try to hear you.
All right. I love you, Pepper. I love you. My best. You're my sport lady. I love you. Imagine me putting to death. Can you hear me?
Yes, but it's a bit muffled, but go ahead.
Okay, imagine me putting to death. There's money to leave the hospital because of emefiele. It's not as if I don't have money in my account. How bad of this sound? Going to all the markets to look for where to buy money. We bought 400,000 for how much? Because we want to leave the hospital. The thing is really affecting everybody. Okay, getting home now. How will the world feed? They have to rectify this thing as fast as possible. To get baby diaper, the transfer is not going. And since morning, my mommy has been walking up and down looking for who will collect transfer to get diaper. I don't know where we are going to. I don't know.
Thank you so much, Antonia, for sharing your
are going
experience.
through different types of
when
hardship.
I see, but how do we therefore? Because we're saying don't postpone the deadline, but these are the realities people are facing. For example, people are protesting, burning up banks. Those in the banks are also Nigerians. They're not foreigners, though.
They're also
feeling the pain. Yes, they're in the bank. You think you never have access to cash, but they also have limits. Everybody needs cash. So we're all in this together. So those of us who are attacking the banks, to what end? Because we're still saying that, and CBN is still insisting that banks are hoarding. So how do we balance those who are hoarding and those who are trying to get?
That story is even more pathetic. You give birth, you want to pay 200,000. Why can't the hospital confirm a transaction?
Because they are failed transaction and they will release the baby and the baby will not...
the baby, they must go and buy, they had to buy 200,000 to come and pay cash to hospital. No, now. Some of these things we can avoid. We can avoid this one because I know that hospital just needs the cash. Some schools are now saying, no, pay our school fees only in cash so that they can pay their teachers, so that their teachers can have transport fare to come to work the next day. The big schools in this Nigeria, in this Lagos, did that. They had to do that for teachers to be able to come to school.
We have show on Thursdays and Sundays. Normally I have to give them cash for transport. A lot of them could take transportation transfer before. Now, nobody wants transfer. Please give me my cash. Wow. And I don't have cash.
Exactly.
So let's talk about
that's
beggars.
The reality. Before we talk about beggars, let me go on a break. When we come back, we continue with this conversation and take a few more calls. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the hardship this cash crunch is telling on Nigerians. And we're pretty concerned about the violence that have erupted across the country, especially at banks. Some banks had to close their branches for the safety of their staff. Others were seen jumping over the fence for safety because there was a crowd outside trying to get in. Where do we go from here? And here we have the CBN governor, who is saying that, assuring us that you get more money out there. Our president, I said, give me 7 days. Lawmakers are saying, we don't have 7 days. They might have to reconvene either today or tomorrow because we don't have time. We need something to be done drastically. How do we move forward? Nobody has really said anything. We're waiting for the president 7 days to be up. So by Friday, CBN wants to see what it's going to do. But we are getting information that they don't have enough cash. They don't have enough new cash. In communities where we don't have people, where people don't have access to banks, according to a report that I read earlier, in certain states like Bauchi, Katsina, less than 8% of women have accounts. And these are farmers. These are people who actually go to the farm. How do they transfer? Farmers are being totally affected by this.
Yobe State Governor, I remember reading a story saying that he doesn't even understand this policy because most of his states are not banked, and the villages are very, very far apart.
Yeah.
That you travel hours before you will see one bank in the entire state, and many people live like that. So even the cash they have, they will have to travel hours to go and drop it in the bank. And when they drop that, let's say they drop that 50,000 naira, they cannot withdraw another 50,000 naira because the daily limit is how much? 20,000 naira. So they will go back home, be out over almost 2 hours of travel back to their house with 20,000 naira, with the expectation that what will be the solution. Like, we're not thinking of the people. They just think of Metropolis Nigeria, not thinking of the real Nigerians.
Let me take this call and hold it for a minute. Good morning, are you there? Muniruddin, you're live. I'm so sorry for keeping you.
No problem, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Mrs. Morayo, bro. You're well done. I do appreciate and enjoy your program.
Thank you.
The issue of this Naira and the fuel in this country, honestly speaking, is giving most of us headache. Like me now, I'm doing petty business because I'm done with my first degree. Second degree, I'm still on for job. I have to put something on the table each and every day. So those people that buy clothes from me, they need to have cash. Since this policy, they introduced this policy, I've not sold single clothes. I was talking to my dad yesterday. He happens to be a philanthropist. So people do go to him to go and have money each and every morning. They have to go and use money to buy money. Because those people that come to collect money, they don't even have accounts for him to even transfer money to. So let's even forget about those conditions. I mean, the saying of they introduced these programs because of conditions. No, forget about it. Those people know who to call in the bank if they need cash.
Thank you, Muniru.
There's a report, sorry, that they said that 250 million was found
In a bank.
in a bank. But from what I'm hearing, banks actually keep money for other banks. So if you meet 250 million in a bank, it might belong to...
Yeah, you should distribute it to the other banks. You shouldn't keep it in your bank either.
No,
Distribute it to the other banks.
Maybe that as a vault, you can actually house monies for
other banks.
Yeah. So if you have a very more secure bank, banks as...
Yeah, but right now we need new notes. So those new notes should not be in anybody's vault at
But
all.
it's not their own to spend. It's not their own to distribute. They are holding it in trust for other branches.
So my question, therefore, is
other banks.
Who are, in the last few days, we've been repeating the same thing, who gave the order for them to hoard this money in the banks? Nobody has been able to answer it. Have they spoken to the bank managers? Have they spoken to the owners of the bank? In what's instruction?
So imagine if, like, there's the branch I went to yesterday now, the last time they gave them money was on Friday. So Saturday, Sunday, ATMs were dry. If they receive money on Tuesday, they might decide that we will only distribute 50% so that we would have enough cash for tomorrow so that we can also distribute a bit as well. I was going to say before the break that what are happening to the beggars? There are some beggars that I usually pass by and I would always give cash, but I don't have cash. So I'm thinking about it that people give change to these people and now they don't have cash to give them.
No, there's 100 Naira that's available, 50 Naira.
Where is it available?
100 Naira.
No, as in, that's cash. That one doesn't have any problems now. You can still take cash.
Can you see the 100 Naira? Look, my friend, she went to, excuse me,
Let me take this
she went to the bank yesterday. They gave her 3,000. So she's texting me that, please, give me 20. I said, I don't have. Me go, I don't have. If I have 20,000, do you know my workforce that I will now give you? I don't have it to give you. Look, is there someone on the phone?
Yes, let me take Yakub. He's been holding. Good morning, Yakub. Are you there? Sorry for keeping you.
Yeah, I'm Jamb.
Yes, sir.
And good morning to everyone because of time. Morayo, I think in the nearest future, we are still going to continue this line. Why? Or hence, our laws change. Why am I saying that? As it is today, the law permits the central bank governor and Mr. President, if they want to return our Naira, to do whatever they like. I don't think a station whereby they need to pass through the National Assembly. I think this thing could have not happened. A station whereby just two people can decide how Nigerian people, how Nigerian capacity will spend their money. But I think someone in the studio mentioned earlier that only 200 million or 200 billion missing. Out of this money that was missing, a lot of millions of this money get to bandits in the bush. How come? How managed? Another one is this. It is a political. Why is it not political? Why is political is this? Some politicians from the opposition went to the court and mandated court to extend this thing. And then another party, in person of APC, goes to Supreme Court. And I say that this thing must be extended because Nigerian citizens are passed through air. And then other parties go to the court that they should not be extended. You cannot see that why it's a political. And then especially as a garrison commander behave like a former Indian of Uganda. He now says that if you want $1, I buy silver for you. Who are you to say that, to tell Anna that when you meet silver, I give you $? You can imagine how this man is behaving. See, if care is not taken, if Nigerian masses protesting. They want to stop this election, and that, believe me,
Yeah.
it's not going to happen.
Thank you very much. Because many people are fearing. Yes.
Yakub just said, because I've been hearing it and I've just been thinking about it. Emefiele, as a sitting CBN governor, did not resign when he had the presidential aspirations. He printed cars, and suddenly now he wants to catch election thief. He is even agreeing with YK on this thing is for election, but the futility of it is what is annoying. One man who cannot say he has been unbiased in his position is deciding now to put us in this hardship to catch election, to curb election excesses. This one man, his hands are not clean.
But he's already there.
I just want us to remember that in May last year, just before the primaries, was it May or April, there was dollar scarcity. Everybody was looking for dollar. All of them, because all the politicians. So if you had dollar in the bank, you won't get your dollar because all the politicians had mopped up the dollars. Inside the same emefiele matter.
Yeah.
And then he's
now,
suddenly he's
now we have left dollar now. It is now Naira. That we are now buying Naira as if we are buying dollar.
Yes.
Exactly. You know, it's quite sad, and I really hope that we can actually see another learning from this, where how important our lawmakers are. They are the ones that can empower any officer, any appointed officer on what to do. So CBN has all these powers. Why? Because the lawmakers have made him that powerful. They are the third arm of government. So they can amend these laws that are empowering these people to make this kind of drastic, single-handed decisions. So don't just focus on who is the president, who is the president. You are not paying attention to who is your local government, who is your House of Assembly, who is your senator, who is your lawmaker. These are the people that make the nation, not just one man president. You can make or break the president. So if this person has this kind of power to break a nation, it means that the person who's giving that power, we should check them.
Shouldn't the lawmakers be summoning emefiele too now?
One person with the support of the president has brought the entire country to its knees, like everybody grounded.
The NNPC was insisting they had petrol. And we have been suffering this hardship. We've been buying and we have been paying subsidy. Yeah. On top of what we are paying subsidy, we have been buying at 350 naira per litre. 350. That filling station at Celeb bus stop is selling 330 naira per litre.
Akure is selling for 500, 550.
In this Lagos, in this Nigeria, and nobody is summoning him. Then he comes out, he does an apology and says that, well, I'm not assuring you that all the queues will just disappear.
Excuse
I don't understand.
Excuse me, Nigeria has a network problem. Fuel, get network problem. Money, get network problem. PVC, get network problem. So let's change Nigeria to network. We need network in Nigeria.
Did you practice that one before this show?
Because I'm just looking. Everything is network. This one network.
It's network really, because the reason why we can't do transfers is
we don't have
stop our network for that side.
So transportation network to Abi for petrol.
We have to wrap up on this because I think we've really.
I'm tired.
I really wanted to get a little more calls. Can we take some on social media?
We have many.
Let's take a view.
Let's look for them.
Watch Mama says old 500 naira and 200 naira notes should be allowed to run alongside the new ones for 6 months after the election to the gradual withdrawal to even out the bottleneck. 1,000 naira notes should be immediately and completely phased out. I agree. Mokoyemi Steven says when CBN knew they won't print what will be enough for the whole country, why did they change the 3 major currencies we are using? Delfino says, by stopping the ATMs, they will indirectly make POS vendors their mop-up agents, and within a few days, the old notes will be at the banks. I wish I got a CBN job instead.
So, is it Twitter you're taking?
Twitter.
Okay, let me take
Tubes.
Boost your social site says, even Nigerian people get network problem. Ken says, exactly my... Sorry, I have to take one before that.
Let me take Delfino's first one and complete again. It says CBN is supposed to stop all the ATMs from working while allowing cash swaps in their branches. If you don't have old cash, you won't get new notes, because now even people that are not into POS business are all going into it to make the demand, making the demand for cash higher. They should stop ATMs, and by stopping ATMs, they will indirectly make POS vendors their mop-up agents, and within a few days, the old notes will be at the banks. I wish I got a CBN job instead.
September Production says, why didn't they make this change 4 years ago? Why now, a few months to the election, they need to question the CBN governor?
Okay, that's all we can take on this. I mean, I'm hoping we can bring in an economist to help us understand, because we've only spoken like Nigerians. We've only spoken with like people who have experienced what emefiele syndrome or emefieleism has done to us. But then we're going to break. When we come back, we'll bring in an economist to give us, shed some light. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the hardship this cash crunch is telling on Nigerians. And we're pretty concerned about the violence that have erupted across the country, especially at banks. Some banks had to close their branches for the safety of their staff. Others were seen jumping over the fence for safety because there was a crowd outside trying to get in. Where do we go from here? And here we have the CBN governor, who is saying that, assuring us that you get more money out there. Our president, I said, give me 7 days. Lawmakers are saying, we don't have 7 days. They might have to reconvene either today or tomorrow because we do not have time. We need something to be done drastically. How do we move forward? Nobody has really said anything. We're waiting for the president 7 days to be up. So by Friday, CBN, we want to see what it's going to do. But we are getting information that they don't have enough cash. They don't have enough new cash. In communities where we don't have people, where people don't have access to banks, according to a report that I read earlier, in certain states like Bauchi, Katsina, less than 8% of women have accounts. And these are farmers. These are people who actually go to the farm. How do they transfer? Farmers are being totally affected. By this.
Yobe State Governor, I remember reading a story saying that he doesn't even understand this policy because most of his states are not banked, and the villages are very, very far apart.
Yeah.
That you travel hours before you will see one bank in the entire state, and many people live like that. So even the cash they have, they will have to travel hours to go and drop it in the bank, and when they drop that, let's say they drop that 50,000 naira, they cannot withdraw another 50,000 naira because the daily limit is how much? 20,000 naira. So they will go back home, be out over almost 2 hours of travel back to their house with 20,000 naira, with the expectation that what will be the solution. Like, we're not thinking of the people. They just think of Metropolis Nigeria, not thinking of the real Nigerians.
Let me take this call and hold it for a minute. Good morning, are you there? Niruddin, you're live. I'm so sorry for keeping you.
No problem, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Mrs. Morayo, bro, you're well done. I do appreciate and enjoy your program.
Thank you.
The issue of these migrants and the fuel in this country, honestly speaking, is giving most of us headache. Like me now, I'm doing petty business because I'm done with my first degree. Second degree, I'm still on for job. I have to put something on the table each and every day. So those people that buy clothes from me, they need to have cash. Since this policy, they introduced this policy, I've not sold single clothes. I was talking to my dad yesterday. He happens to be a philanthropist. So people do go to him to go and have money each and every morning. They have to go and use money to buy money. Because those people that come to collect money, they don't even have accounts for him to even transfer money to. So let's even forget about those conditions. I mean, the saying of they introduced these programs because of conditions. No, forget about it. Those people know who to call in the bank if they need cash.
Thank you, Muniru.
There's a report, that they said that 250 million was found
in a bank.
But from what I'm hearing, banks actually keep money for other banks. So if you meet 250 million in a bank, it might belong to...
Yeah, you should distribute it to the other banks. You shouldn't keep it in your bank either.
No,
Distribute it to the other banks.
Maybe that as a vault, you can actually house monies for
other banks.
Yeah. So if you have a very more secure bank, banks as...
Yeah, but right now we need new notes. So those new notes should not be in anybody's vault at
But
all.
it's not their own to spend. It's not their own to distribute. They are holding it in trust for other branches.
So my question, therefore, is
other banks.
Who are, in the last few days, we've been repeating the same thing, who gave the order for them to hoard this money in the banks? Nobody has been able to answer it. Have they spoken to the bank managers? Have they spoken to the owners of the bank? What's the structure?
So imagine if, like, there's the branch I went to yesterday now, the last time they gave them money was on Friday. So Saturday, Sunday, ATMs were dry. If they receive money on Tuesday, they might decide that we'll only distribute 50% so that we would have enough cash for tomorrow so that we can also distribute a bit as well. I was going to say before the break that what are happening to the beggars? There are some beggars that I usually pass by and I would always give cash, but I don't have cash. So I'm thinking about it that people give change to these people and now they don't have cash to give them.
No, there's 100 Naira exactly available, 50 Naira.
Where is it available?
100 Naira.
No, as in, that's cash. That one doesn't have any problems now. You can still take cash.
Can you see the 100 Naira? Look, my friend, she went to, excuse me,
Let me take this
she went to the bank yesterday. They gave her 3,000, so she's texting me that, please, give me 20. I said, I don't have. Me go, I don't have. If I have 20,000, do you know my workforce that I will now give you? I don't have it to give you. Look, is there someone on the phone?
Yes, let me take Yakub. He's been holding. Good morning, Yakub. Are you there? Sorry for keeping you.
Yeah, I'm Jamb.
Yes, sir.
And good morning to everyone because of time. Morayo, I think in the nearest future, we are still going to continue this line. Why? Or hence, our laws change. Why am I saying that? As it is today, the law permits the central bank governor and Mr. President, if they want to return our Naira, to do whatever they like. I don't think a station whereby they need to pass through the National Assembly. I think this thing could have not happened. Especially about just two people can decide how Nigerian people, how Nigerian capacity will spend their money. But I see someone in the studio mentioned earlier that only 200 million or 200 billion missing. Out of this money that was missing, a lot of millions of this money get to bandits in the bush. How come? How money? Another one is this. It is a political. Why is it not political? Why is political is this? Some politicians from the opposition went to the court and mandated court to extend this thing. And then another party, in person of APC, goes to Supreme Court. And I say that this thing must be extended because Nigerian citizens are passed through air. And then other party goes to the court that they should not be extended. You cannot see that why it's a political. And then, especially as a garrison commander, behave as like a former Egyptian of Uganda. He now says that if you want $1, I buy silver for you. Who are you to say that to tell Anna that when you meet silver, I give you $? You can imagine how this man is behaving. See, if care is not taken, if Nigerian masses start protesting, they want to stop this election, and that's believing me, it's not going to happen.
Thank you very much. Because many people are fearing. Yes.
Yakub just said, because I've been hearing it, and I've just been thinking about it. Emefiele, as a sitting CBN governor, did not resign when he had the presidential aspirations. He printed cars, and suddenly now he wants to catch election thief. And he is even agreeing with YK on this thing is for election, but the futility of it is what is annoying. One man who cannot say he has been unbiased in his position is deciding now to put us in this hardship to catch election, to curb election excesses. This one man, his hands are not clean.
But he's already there.
I just want us to remember that in May last year, just before the primaries, was it May or April, there was dollar scarcity. Everybody was looking for dollar. All of them, because all the politicians. So if you had dollar in the bank, you won't get your dollar because all the politicians had mopped up the dollars. Inside the same emefiele matter.
Yeah.
And then he's
now
suddenly he's
now we have left dollar now. It is now Naira. That we are now buying Naira as if we are buying dollar.
Yes. Exactly. You know, it's quite sad, and I really hope that we can actually see another learning from this, where how important our lawmakers are. They are the ones that can empower any officer, any appointed
Except
officer
CBN.
on what to do. So CBN has all these powers. Why? Because the lawmakers have made him that powerful. They are the third arm of government. So they can amend these laws that are empowering these people to make this kind of drastic, single-handed decisions. So don't just focus on who is the president, who is the president. You are not paying attention to who is your local government, who is your House of Assembly, who is your senator, who is your lawmaker. These are the people that make the nation, not just one man president. You can make or break the president. So if this person has this kind of power to break a nation, it means that the person who's giving that power, we should check them.
Shouldn't the lawmakers be summoning emefiele too now?
One person with the support of the president has brought the entire country to its knees, like everybody grounded.
The NNPC was insisting they had petrol. And we have been suffering this hardship. We've been buying and we have been paying subsidy.
Yeah.
On top of what we are paying subsidy, we have been
People are
buying at
buying
350
600,
naira per litre. 350.
500.
That filling station at Celeb bus stop is selling 330
They are selling Akure is selling for 500, 550.
In this
right
Lagos,
there.
in this Nigeria, and nobody is summoning him. Then he comes out, he does an apology and says that, but I'm not assuring you that all the queues will just disappear.
Excuse
I don't
me.
understand.
Excuse me, Nigeria has a network problem. Fuel get network problem. Money get network problem. PVC get network problem. So let's change Nigeria to network. We need network in Nigeria.
Did you practice that one before the show?
Because I'm just looking. Everything is network. This one network.
It's network really, because it's the reason why we can't do transfers.
We don't stop our network for that side.
So, and no, but
we have to-
transportation network to Abi for
We got-
petrol.
We have to wrap up
beg.
on this because I think we've really.
I'm tired.
I really wanted to
We've
get
been
a little more
lamenting on
calls.
this
Can we
matter
take
every
some
day.
on social
We
media?
have many. We have many.
Let's take a view.
Let's look for them.
Watch Mama says old 500 naira and 200 naira notes should be allowed to run alongside the new ones for 6 months after the elections with a gradual withdrawal to even out the bottleneck. 1,000 naira notes should be immediately and completely phased out. I agree. Okoyemi Steven says when CBN knew they won't print what will be enough for the whole country, why did they change the 3 major currencies we are using? Delfino says, by stopping the ATMs, they will indirectly make POS vendors their mop-up agents. And within a few days, the old notes will be at the banks. I wish I got a CBN job instead.
So, is it Twitter you're taking?
Twitter.
Okay, let me take
Tubes.
Boost your social site says, even Nigerian people get network problem. Ken says, exactly my... Sorry, I have to take one before that.
Let me take Delfino's first one and
okay.
conclude again. It says CBN is supposed to stop all the ATMs from working while allowing cash swaps in their branches. If you don't have old cash, you won't get new notes because now even people that are not into POS business are all going into it to make the demand, making the demand for cash higher. They should stop ATMs and by stopping ATMs, they will indirectly make POS vendors their mop-up agents. And within a few days, the old notes will be at the banks. I wish I got a CBN job instead.
September Production says, why didn't they make this change 4 years ago? Why now, a few months to the election, they need to question the CBN governor?
Okay, that's all we can take on this. I mean, I hope we can bring in an economist to help us understand because we've only spoken like Nigerians. We've only spoken with like people who have experienced what emefiele syndrome or emefieleism has done to us. But then we're going to break. When we come back, we'll bring in an economist to shed some light. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Joining us on this conversation about the Naira note is the Dr. Ayodele Shitu. He is an economist at the Department of Economics, University of Lagos. Welcome to the show, sir. Are you there?
Yes, thank you for having me this morning.
Yes, it's just a pleasure.
Good morning, Nigerian.
Such a pleasure having you on the show. So, as an economist, I'd like you to help us have a bit of an insight into what could have gone wrong in the execution of this policy. We're hearing various reports saying that it seems the CBN did not have enough money, new money, to push out to the public. And some of the financial institutions that could have helped to beef up infrastructure saying that they did not know on time. They didn't have time to prepare for this influx of users. As an economist, what do you think went wrong? Where did they miscalculate? What did they do wrong in executing this policy that many have said has been laudable?
So thank you very much. I would simply say that the policy is actually a good one when you look at it from an intentional perspective. However, the implementation is where we are getting it wrong. And I would say that stakeholders' engagement wasn't thoroughly explored. You know, for example, this policy has actually been in place in this country since 2012. And up till now, more than a decade, we are still struggling with how to execute the cashless policy. But, you know, we all woke up last year and it was, this is going to be the new currency. We're designing the new currency, and after a particular number of weeks, 90 days or 100 days, as the CBN governor has said, that the whole currency ceases to be a legal tender. Do not forget that culture is important. And here we have in Nigeria, we have a culture of holding on to cash. Personally, I'm also struggling with that culture right now. In the last 3 weeks, I've not held cash on me at all. And when I look around, I see the pain on the face of people. And one thing that struck me the most is what kind of information dissemination model did the CBN put in place to sensitize the people, to educate the people? Yes, we know that cashless policy would help have its positive effects, but if these positive effects were not properly harnessed, the negative multiplier effect can consume the positive benefit, which is what we're already seeing now, because people are already feeling agitated. You know, the worry on the face of many people. Here, it's not about the sum of cash you have sitting inside the bank account, but how much do you even have with you? That's the way we reason. And that perception has to change in a cashless policy regime. But the speed at which we've gone about implementing it is not too good enough to actually influence this perspective of the generality of our people who have grown in a society where we all hold cash, we spend cash, we spray cash, and we just suddenly wake up and that has to change overnight. Change is good, but when you want to implement a sudden change, you may be faced with, I don't want to use the word, people would revolve, and that's exactly what we are facing right now.
Okay.
Okay, I wanted to ask about this Naira. The banks and the telcos are trading blame about the ease of using online banking, because another one of the major problems is the network is not working.
It's not networking.
You are trying to transfer. You try and use your ATM. Everything. Now, bank and telcos are trading blame. These ones are saying they need to expand their USD capacity, USSD capacity, and then the banks are saying we have invested over 100 million. So, 100 billion, sorry. Who is to blame? now inside this matter, because we now who have been forced to be cashless are finding problem. In fact, when your money enters inside the bank through your business, you will not see it in your account. Too.
Yeah.
It will stay with the bank. You will be looking for your money like, you know.
Thank you very much. I would say that we are all to be blamed. Reason being that we are a nation of people that wait for the problem to stare us directly in the face
last minute.
before we start looking for solutions. You know, and there is this Yoruba adage that they say that Ari Yale, Ari Yawo, Oko Yale, that is, you had a wife before, the moment you see a new bride, you tend to forget the previous wife in the house. You know, since 2012, I would say, the evolution in the payment system in Nigeria has been evolving. But what do you observe? The moment we get a better solution, we abandon the previous one. Online banking came, ATM came, mobile payments came, PSP. Now, as you're moving into each of these new technologies, we tend to abandon investment in the previous technology, forgetting that this is a nation of over 200 million people, and we are still counting. So, what we are experiencing now is a negligence on our part to invest continuously, one, in capacity building, two, in innovation, and three, in the expansion of our infrastructural base. It's so pathetic that even before the CBN governor pronounced the need for us to change the currency and the enforcement of the deadline, you go to several banks. What do you see? Only 1 out of 3 or 4 ATM machines are working. And you go into the banking hall, you want to use either any of the internet apps. It's so frustrating. And let's not also forget the fact that many, according to information, that many of the tech guys behind all these innovations, the fintech innovations, have also japa, leaving that skill set gap very wide for us to really, consume. The shock is so much, really. Human capital, technology shock, cultural shock. So you can see that we've waited for more than 11 years, ignoring this shock, and now it is upon us,
all right.
staring upon us.
Let me get a few more questions for you. Go ahead.
So the CBN did a 3-in-1 policy, which is causing us hardship. So they are mopping back cash in system. They are limiting cash withdrawals as well as swapping old notes for new notes at once. Seeing the hardship that this has caused across the country, which would you advise that they should stop as of immediate effect to see if there will be ease in the lives of Nigerians?
I'm caught in between the Red Sea and the Blue Sea. Yes, and I will tell you why. I have actually been looking forward to the day when this cashless policy will be a reality in Nigeria. I think what the CBN should do right now is to work in harmony with all government agencies that matter. I'm a Nigerian, and I keep asking myself every day, where is the Ministry of Information in all of this? No information, no sensitization going on. When we were growing up, people would have been ringing bells. This is going to happen. This is how you go about it. This, nothing is going on. All we just hear is that the only government agency now is CBN, which is, of course, we always claim that it is autonomous. But I think this calls for all hands to be on deck. And why do I favor the cashless policy at this point in time? The fact that there has been a decline in the business of kidnapping, business of people looking for money. Sometimes when I pass and I see even uniform men, what do you have? What do you have? The last 3 weeks, trust me, it has gone down. And I think that's a good thing in Nigeria.
Because the police can't collect money again.
Yeah, but
They collect transfer.
the hardship coming with this is becoming too unbearable.
But
and
so
the care is not taken.
as you've said, we all agree that this policy is beneficial on the long term. What we're asking, why is the CBN having such difficulty in prolonging or extending the deadline? People need more time to adjust. People need more time to understand that the cash they have they can't spend it anymore. It can't be a legal tender anymore. So we need a few more weeks to prepare and get our businesses understanding so that those who are buying plantain from the supplier get the infrastructure. So NIBSS can strengthen the infrastructure for online transactions. When they do that, I can pay to get to the farmer to get the plantains. But right now, nobody was prepared for this, and it's just causing a huge drain on the system. Why do you think the CBN is having trouble backtracking on this policy, at least for now, temporarily?
Really, I may not be able to say that this is what CBN seeks to achieve with this scheme. However, on a societal level, we are a 99.9 set of people in Nigeria. Change this date in the next 3 months. I expect we will all go back to sleep again. Those who are supposed to invest in the expansion of infrastructure will go back to sleep. The person that is charged with the responsibility of disseminating information will go back to sleep and will wait for another 1 week or 2 weeks to the deadline before we wake up again.
Yeah, okay.
The big question I ask myself is, do we really have what we call this is the right time to implement a policy?
Yeah.
There is never the right time to implement a policy. However, the deadline has been set. Don't also forget that we also have Nigerians who have also approached the judiciary threatening that if this date is changed, this will happen, that will happen. So every one of us were a stakeholder, and I think we owe ourselves the duty to begin to educate ourselves. Let me give a very good example. I was on the street last night to buy some items, and I needed to use my ATM card. And the man was like, she can never take ATM card. She can never take transfer. I am learned. Honestly speaking, I still don't have any payment app on my phone. I do online banking, and I have to activate token. So there are many occasions in the last 3 weeks where I have forgotten my token back in the office, and I have to drive back to pick the token. So what I tell everybody now is the time for us to embrace payment apps. But
all right.
Dr.
are they also functioning effectively?
They are not functioning, sir.
There are just so
They are
much
not.
that we can
I
do
agree. They are
on
not.
payment apps.
That's where the issue is right now.
Do you think that Nigerians still need to hold on to cash in some form or some way? For instance, in public transport or in certain shopping, because the people who are suffering the most are those whose businesses need cash.
Beggars.
Don't talk.
I agree with you because ours is more of an informal economy. But I believe that if we endure, it will give back to newer innovations. However, do we have in place what it will take to give support to the people? You know, it's very difficult to say. I know that we can endure, but for how long can we endure when there are no visible solutions in sight?
Thank you.
However, I know, and I'm optimistic, that this will give back to newer innovations. The fintech guys are happy now because there are a lot of opportunities for newer innovations for them now to bring on board. And I'm sure with time, many people will embrace that. We shop in several other African countries where we go, and all we did there to do was to just do transfers, even in the local marketplace. I'm sure with time, our people will embrace that.
Okay. So let me quickly throw this in. We've all analyzed the problem. You've explained to us how there will never be an ideal time for this. But, sir, are you also, you understand the political connotations attached to this policy and how this has led to, yesterday there was a loss of life in Abeokuta, people are protesting everywhere. Do you think that, considering the political undertone, CBN should create an extension till after the election? Or are you also of the opinion that there is a political undertone to this policy's implementation?
I stand to be corrected. Or let me speak for myself now. I do not see any political undertone. And why do I say so? This policy has been in place. It's only that nobody has woken up to say that we would enforce it. But now the time has come. Let's run with it. Tomorrow, even after the election, the new government may come and say, okay, we want to reverse it and we are going back. This is Nigeria. But personally, as an economist and as one who also do researches into the payment infrastructure within the Nigerian financial system, I think I'm happy that I have seen a governor who have chosen to now enforce a policy that has been in place for more than 10 years and nothing has been done about it.
Okay.
So, thank you.
There's a tweet here from somebody, Joy Andy, and she says, I don't even know if we are even thinking of our own Nigerians that are living in the inner villages, way out of cities and towns, who are yet to even sight an ATM machine or even a bank. Because we are saying, yeah, it's a good policy, it's a good policy. No, we're not saying it's not. But what about the people who have not even seen bank in their village or ATM machine? What about the people who cannot even read? They are human too now.
I agree with you that they are human. And one thing I often say is that if only people also appreciate the fact that even those of us in the urban, there are many times prior to this policy implementation that you get to your bank and you'll be disappointed.
Sure.
I have been to several banks on campus, the so-called civilized environment within the country, where I have to reverse almost 3 or 4 times. And when you even ask the bankers, what is wrong with your ATM? They have no explanation. Nobody to complain to, unfortunately. So it's totally not too different. I think we just as a people need to now say to ourselves, we need to be problem solvers as a nation. We are far from it, you know, but I think we are having a new chapter. And what is this new chapter? Let's embrace problems and begin to think of solutions. Let us not wait until these problems begin to consume us.
All right, so let me ask one final question on this, because people are saying that some of the benefits of this policy is that it will help strengthen the Naira against the dollar. Is that true?
Naira
Wow.
is gaining against the Naira.
Wow. I do not believe so.
From an
Wishful
economist-
thinking.
Yes.
This morning, somebody...
Because
Go ahead.
we have changed, we have redesigned the Naira. But what are we saying about our production capability?
Exactly.
The more we produce, the more we sell to the outside world, and the more people begin to demand for our Naira. that is when the value of the Naira will go up.
All right.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you so much. It was a pleasure having you. We're speaking with Dr. Ayodele Shitu, who is an economist from the University of Lagos. I mean, we've heard from him. It's wishful thinking to think that it's going to strengthen the Naira against the dollar. But we know that Naira has gained some strength.
But I really
so
like
far.
this perspective. And
Which
there's something he said. I don't know where the
So it's not 400. Before it was 800 and something. I bought Naira, the dollar. Now, for the it's 400 and something Naira.
Because Naira
dollar.
is scarce now.
Where-
Naira to Naira.
There was a time in this December, I bought dollar 700. I bought Naira 700. I changed 700
and now it's 400 and something.
400 and something. Yes.
Are you sure? Officially in the black market?
Well, I don't know about black market.
It's always 400 in the
Find out.
Not official.
Because me, I've no idea.
black
this one,
market?
though.
It's black market.
Somebody was saying it to me yesterday.
That is 400 and
It's
something.
we'll check.
dropped. Because Naira,
will
dollar is
confirm.
available and Naira is scarce now.
Okay,
Is
we'll
that
find out.
Our guest highlighted something, and I think that is something that we haven't spoken about before, is that before this policy, the cashless policy system had already been failing. But because we had options, we did not notice. Bank ATMs, they will have 6 ATMs and only maybe 1 or 2 are working. There's no proper channel to complain that these ATMs, why are they not working? ATMs are out of service. We already have a failing infrastructure. Sometimes you get into the banking hall and you cannot use their
staff,
system. They'll say the system is down.
Yeah.
Inside the banking hall, you have to wait until it comes back up. So if we had all these problems, maybe because we did not escalate it, we kept tolerating it. When the CBN felt like we were okay, so he made a new
Their duty
policy.
to know.
And now there is a major
It is
crisis.
their duty to know, not my own duty.
Let me take this call.
Reports.
Me, I'm a customer.
Let me take this call. Adeyemi from Ogun State. Good morning. Are you there?
Yes, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, this cash policy it's a good policy, but the implementation is zero. You cannot run this kind of policy parallel. You do one first and then execute the other gradually. So you are trying to redesign the Naira, and you are also trying to achieve a cashless policy. When all the things that are required, like all the modes of alternative payments, are not put in place. I mean, who does that? And for Dr. Shitu to come and speak without empathy, I'm shocked. The suffering is too much.
Right.
You know, thank you, Moyo. Thank you, Moraya. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Adeyemi. So I'm getting word here from the Supreme Court. It's breaking news. We're still going to wait to get more information, but just about 18 minutes ago, breaking news, Supreme Court temporary halt banning of old Naira notes. According to, let me see, the ruling here, Justice Okoro held that after a careful consideration of the motion ex parte, this application is granted as prayed, an order of interim injunction restraining the federal government through the Central Bank of Nigeria, all the commercial banks from suspending or determining ending February 10, 2023, the time frame with which the now older version 200, 500, 1,000 denomination of the Naira may no longer be a legal tender, pending the hearing and determination of their motion on notice for interlocutory injunction. So, obviously, from based on what the Supreme Court has said, Friday cannot be the deadline for the notes to be a legal tender.
There's nothing higher than Supreme Court
That's
now.
it. So make sure you go and sit down.
You said it with so much joy.
Maybe you can sit down. I can spend my money on Saturday. Maybe I'm going to collect my money for my head.
What emefiele has done.
I'm saying.
He has brought a financial policy decision like this to the courts to decide.
I'm saying.
This embarrassing.
Isn't it interesting how the proceedings were so quick?
Yeah, it's ex parte now. What does that mean?
No, that wasn't expected.
Okay, that it went.
It was so quick, yeah, because we are in a crisis.
Some matters you don't have to go from the court of first instance. You go straight
to the Supreme Court.
Because there are matters of urgence, national
There's a countdown.
So,
what does this mean for our election?
That's not, no, it could be that also. But the one that pains me is what, the caller talked about, what YK is.
What does it mean for the people?
Well,
we are
that's
also focused on the election. We want to steal our money. We want to steal. The people that are suffering, we are just overlook them and say because of election.
Without ironing out other issues.
Yes.
Failing e-system has been on forever.
Yes.
You were creating alternatives that Nigerians did not do. Then the next thing you bring these 3 policies at once.
All right, so at least...
also, just like that.
Yes.
So that everybody has headache.
You are emefiele.
Those who don't have headache have stomach pain, hunger pain.
I'm telling you.
Everything is disturbing.
So good news for Nigerians. If indeed this breaking news, I'm happy. At least we'll be talking all day because of this matter. The past few weeks, this week, last week, is the same matter we've been discussing on your view. You can't discuss marriage matter again on something. It's emefiele.
Marriage? How can you even marry when there's no money to marry?
Yes,
you can't.
nobody should
Can't
talk
talk.
There's no fuel. Nobody to
You can't discuss parenting.
Nobody should get married.
Even me, I can't spray a party. Now I have to hold my money. This is your Naira.
Which spray?
But party, just transfer. Thank you. Happy birthday because I cannot. But Nigerians, there you have it. The Supreme Court has said that they cannot have February 10th as a deadline. We can continue to use the old Naira notes as legal tender after it's temporary though. That means the case, they're still allowing the CBN policy would hold, but it's obviously they need to review the date at which we can then stop using those notes as legal tender. I think that's all we can take on today's show.
Please don't forget our...
Valentine is coming.
So we have we're getting lots of inquiries. I mean, it's selling pretty fast. Let's take a few tweets before we run off, please.
Here he says dollar was 750 last week, 745 now. Maybe it's the 4 in there that is causing confusion. Or maybe people have connection to buying it at the CBA. Jide Larry says breaking news: Supreme Court all the ban to use the old Naira notes on February 10.
Let me take this call. It's been holding for a while. Good morning. Are you there? Our final call this morning. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you're live.
Good morning. My name is Sadiq from Kano State.
Yes. Go ahead.
Thank you. To me, my contribution is that maybe this country will have made mistakes. Yes, because why our governor, Central Bank governor, why he did not use the method that our former governor, Central Bank governor, used that time, the time they changed our Nigerian notes? Because this country, we need a prayer. It's not like Team A is the one that can rule this country. Team B is the one that will rule this country. We need to go back to God, and God will help us in this country.
Sadiq.
Yes.
I don't want you to go because I want you to understand. It's our job to make you understand. The CBN's objective is to get all the plenty money out there, bring it into the banking system so we can trace it. Kidnappers, we're collecting money.
I understand.
You understand that part?
See, like yesterday, I want to go back home. I don't have cash. Okay. It's one of the beggars when they come to my shop, come and beg. It's the one give me money to transport myself, go out yesterday. That's why I said we need prayer in this country.
So what the Supreme Court has done, he said that you can continue to use your Naira notes as a legal tender. That's one. Now, what we're going to try to do is to get them to either increase the number we can get from the amount we can get from the ATM, so that someone like you can have money, because this is a Niger, he's frustrated. But I want him to understand what the policy is and the issue so that we are not confused. Yes, prayer is important, but it's important that...
Let me just have cash.
It's not policy issue that concerns him. Why would I have worked so hard and I'm suffering
to get my money?
Plenty? That's all that concerns him.
Somebody else is saying she deposited all her old Naira notes. Now she cannot get her money that she wants to spend. You know, if I have 100,000 and then I need 10,000, and when I get to the bank, you can only give me 2,000. That's a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we have to wrap up, but we have to use the opportunity again to remind our viewers of our Valentine Hangout, February 17th. The tickets are selling out fast. We've gotten quite a number of people paid already. We'd like many people to come, but we can only take 50 couples. Only 50 couples. So please go to our social media pages. Mine is Mariah Brown. TMO Speaks. Auntie. Yeni Ekuti. Please go to our Instagram pages.
Get all the
details. The numbers to call so you can get...
Hang out with us on Valentine's.
Trust me, you want to come and hang out at this hangout. You just want to come.
All right.
God, let there be Naira
by then. We have prizes.
Amen. Have a lovely day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.